And the award for the best movie with the title that sounds like an 80s hair metal song goes to... Hello? Alright, if you can hear me, this is Chris Pistol. This is the 300th time I've recorded this review. Every day, I keep waking up and recording this review over and over, and it won't stop. Whoa! Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. I felt like a jump cut. So, The Edge of Tomorrow is based on a Japanese light novel called All You Need Is Kill, which... why did they change that name? Are you kidding me? That's like changing the title of Fight Club to Furies of Yesteryear. But despite it being a lame title, Edge of Tomorrow is actually a not so lame movie. So it's the future. We've been invaded by aliens, which... I think we all know what's gonna happen. I mean, come on. They go through a lot of the backstory very quickly, like in the first 2 minutes of the movie, and I really appreciated that. Like, you understand the setup. Aliens have conquered us, and now we have these cool built suits that have guns and do other things, and we're going to kick their butts. They also do a good job at not putting a lot of focus on the aliens at first, too. Like, I think it's like 30 minutes before we even see the aliens, and I wasn't like, when are we gonna see the aliens? It was just kind of like, oh, we haven't seen the aliens yet. So Tom Cruise is like the poster boy for introducing these new suits to the army. But he has never seen battle. He's never even really gone past ROTC training. And they basically tell him, you're gonna be on the front line with these things. And like a classic Tom Cruise hero, he runs away. But basically, he gets forced out onto the front line, and then, not so surprisingly, he dies. Spoilers? But no, not spoilers, because he doesn't die. He wakes up Groundhog Day style on the exact same day. And it basically keeps happening. He goes out on the front line and he dies, and then he wakes up and it's the same day again and he dies. One thing I really like about this movie is that it gets through all the things that, you know, you would do first in those situations really quickly. Groundhog Day. The entire movie is just like, what would you do if you kept waking up and it was the same day? Well, we get through all that pretty quickly so we can get to an actual story. He discovers another character played by Emily Blunt. Be still my heart. And she explains that this has happened to her before, and it's all because of the aliens. Which is a sentence I hope I don't end up saying a lot in my life. And most of this movie is them trying to figure out how to use this ability to eventually defeat the aliens. I'm sure the aliens have a name in this movie, I just can't remember the name. They are called mimics. Thank you, Wikipedia. So the plot gets more and more dense, and Tom Cruise becomes much more of an awesome fighter as he's learning more and more each day about how to fight. Tom Cruise is one of those actors that you never forget that you're watching Tom Cruise. But saying that, this is one of the more interesting characters that I think I've seen him play in a while. At the beginning, he's kind of a coward and kind of a selfish douchebag, but he remains sympathetic, and it gets really interesting when he starts using the fact that he knows everything that's going to happen. Emily Blunt is great as this character who's just initially known as Full Metal Bitch. I did think there was a bit too much shaky cam in the action scenes, but you know, that's pretty much expected with like 80% of action movies these days. The guy who directed this movie also directed a lot of the Bourne movies, so there you go. But the movie moves at a brisk pace. There was never a moment where I was like, okay, I see where this is going. Or checking my wrist to see my hairs because I don't have a watch. I liked the design of the aliens. It was kind of something that I didn't think I had really seen before. There were times when I think they were using the shaky cam to kind of hide the fact that the CGI on the aliens wasn't 100% top quality, but, you know. That's probably just because they spent a majority of their budget on Tom Cruise's hairpiece. I know your secrets, Mr. Cruise. So Bill Paxton has a small role in this, and his first scene he's talking to Tom Cruise, and I was thinking, you know, they're probably the same age, and Bill Paxton looks way older than Tom Cruise does. Okay, so Bill Paxton is 10 years older than Tom Cruise, but he looks 60 and Tom Cruise looks like 35. So I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's a whole lot funnier and smarter and just more entertaining than it probably has any right to be. So I give it an A. You know, I should probably vary my reviews by going to see something that I know is not going to be that good, but what could